Hey everyone, welcome back to SwitchTop. I'm here with the top 20 best Nintendo Switch games you can play right now. These games are amazing and show why the Switch is such a great console. Let's jump right into our countdown. Pikmin 4 is a strategy game where you control tiny plant creatures called Pikmin to solve puzzles and fight enemies. You play as a rescue worker looking for missing people on a strange planet. The Pikmin come in different colors with special abilities. Red ones resist fire, blue ones can go underwater, and yellow ones conduct electricity. You also get a dog companion named Ochi who can carry heavy stuff and swim across water with your Pikmin on his back. The game has day and night cycles where you explore during the day and do special night missions in caves. You throw Pikmin at obstacles to break them down, carry treasure back to your ship, and fight giant bugs. The controls are simple. You whistle to call Pikmin and throw them where you want them to go. It's like being a tiny general commanding a colorful army, and it's way more fun than it sounds. Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door is an RPG where Mario is literally made of paper in a flat cardboard world. Mario gets a letter from Princess Peach asking for help, but when he arrives, she's missing again. The story involves collecting 7 crystal stars hidden behind the mysterious Thousand-Year Door before an evil group called the X-Nauts can use them for bad purposes. Combat uses turn-based battles where timing button presses perfectly makes your attack stronger and helps you dodge enemy moves. Mario can fold into different paper shapes like a tube to roll through small spaces or turn sideways to slip through cracks. You get party members who join your adventure, each with their own abilities to help in battles and exploration. The humor is clever and the dialogue is genuinely funny. You explore towns, talk to characters, and solve puzzles between battles. The game looks like a pop-up book come to life with amazing visual effects. Animal Crossing New Horizons puts you on a deserted island where you slowly build a community with cute animal neighbors. There's no real story to follow. You create your own daily routine by decorating your house, catching fish and bugs, and designing your island however you want. The game runs in real time, so if it's morning in real life, it's morning in the game too. Seasons change, special events happen on holidays, and your animal neighbors have different conversations depending on the time. You collect resources like wood and stone to craft furniture and tools. The terraforming feature lets you reshape rivers, build cliffs, and create paths anywhere on your island. You can visit friends' islands online or invite up to 8 people to play together. The museum lets you donate fish, bugs, and fossils you find. Your house starts as a tent but grows into a mansion as you pay off loans to Tom Nook. It's incredibly relaxing and gives you something new to do every day for months. Luigi's Mansion 3 has Luigi exploring a haunted hotel to rescue Mario, Princess Peach, and others who got captured by ghosts. Luigi gets invited to a fancy hotel vacation, but it turns out to be a trap set by King Boo. Armed with the Poltergust G00 vacuum cleaner, Luigi sucks up ghosts and solves puzzles on each floor of the hotel. Every floor has a different theme, like a medieval castle, pyramid, tomb, or movie studio with unique ghosts to catch. The game introduces Goo-Igi, a green goo version of Luigi who can squeeze through bars and walk on spikes. You can play alone and switch between Luigi and Goo-Igi, or play with a friend in co-op mode. The vacuum has new abilities like slamming ghosts into the ground and shooting plungers at objects to pull them. You use a flashlight to stun ghosts before vacuuming them up, and the dark light reveals hidden objects. The hotel is full of interactive details. You can vacuum up almost everything to find coins and secrets. Boss battles against special ghosts require strategy and timing. The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening is a remake of the classic Game Boy game where Link washes up on mysterious Crawl Island after a shipwreck. To escape the island, Link must collect 8 instruments to wake up the Windfish, who sleeps in a giant egg on top of a mountain. The story gets weird and mysterious as you meet strange characters and learn the island might not be what it seems. You explore the island from a top-down view, fighting enemies with your sword and using items like bombs, boomerang, and hookshot to solve puzzles. Dungeons are filled with block puzzles, locked doors, and boss monsters that require specific strategies to defeat. The game has a toy-like art style that looks like a miniature diorama. You trade items with islanders in a long chain of favors that leads to important rewards. Some areas require specific items to access, so you'll backtrack to previous locations with new tools. The Chamber Dungeon mode lets you create custom dungeons using rooms you've completed. Combat is simple but satisfying, and the puzzles make you think without being too hard. Live Alive is a collection of 8 different stories set in different time periods, from prehistoric times to the far future. Each chapter has different characters, settings, and gameplay styles, but they're all connected by a bigger story you discover later. The prehistoric chapter has no dialogue, the Wild West chapter is like a classic showdown, the modern day chapter is about a fighter learning techniques, and the sci-fi chapter is a horror story on a spaceship. Combat uses a tactical grid system where you move characters around a battlefield and time your attacks carefully. Each story takes about 2 to 3 hours to complete, so you can play them in any order you want. The final chapters bring all the characters together in an epic conclusion that explains how everything connects. The game has multiple endings depending on your choices throughout the different stories. Each time period has its own unique music, art style, and gameplay mechanics that fit the setting. Some chapters focus more on story and exploration, while others have more battles. The variety keeps things fresh since you never know what type of gameplay comes next.
You're done! Try to run away!
Metroid Dread puts bounty hunter Samus Aran on planet ZDR, where she's being hunted by killer robots called Emmy while trying to eliminate parasites called X. Samus starts weak after being attacked by a Chozo warrior and must regain her abilities by exploring the interconnected alien world. The Emmy robots patrol certain areas and will kill you instantly if they catch you, creating intense chase sequences where you must hide and find alternate routes. You gain new abilities like the Morph Ball, Space Jump, and various beam weapons that let you access previously blocked areas. The map gradually opens up as you get stronger, following the classic Metroidvania formula of exploration and backtracking. Combat is fast and smooth with a counter system that lets you deal extra damage if you time your melee attacks perfectly. Environmental puzzles require specific abilities to solve, and boss battles test your skills and reflexes. The game runs at 60 frames per second with incredibly detailed animations. Power-ups are hidden throughout the world, encouraging thorough exploration. The story unfolds through brief cutscenes that reveal Samus's connection to the Chozo race. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. This package includes Super Mario 3D World, a platformer where up to 4 players work together through creative levels, plus the new Bowser's Fury mode. In 3D World, you can play as Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, or Toad, each with different abilities like Peach's floating jump or Toad's speed. The Katsu power-up lets you climb walls and pounce on enemies, while other power-ups include the double cherry that creates copies of your character. Levels are designed for both single-player and multiplayer chaos with clear pipes, rotating platforms, and lots of secrets to find. Bowser's Fury is a completely different experience where you explore Lake Lapcat, collecting cat shines to power up and stop a giant angry Bowser. In this mode, Bowser Jr. helps you, while regular Bowser randomly appears as a kaiju-sized monster who changes the whole landscape. You can transform into Giga Cat Mario to fight giant Bowser in epic battles. The 3D World portion has stamps and stars to collect in each level, plus harder post-game content. Both games look fantastic and run perfectly smooth on Switch. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a fighting game featuring over 80 characters from Nintendo and other video game companies, all battling on the same stage. The single-player mode called World of Light has you fighting through an adventure to save all the characters who got turned into spirits by a powerful villain. The core gameplay is about knocking opponents off the stage rather than reducing their health to zero. The more damage they take, the farther they fly when hit. Each fighter has unique moves based on their original game, so Mario throws fireballs while Link uses his sword and shield. You can play locally with up to 8 players or battle online against people worldwide. The game includes over 100 stages from different video game series, and you can turn stage hazards on or off. Classic mode gives each character their own themed campaign with specific opponents and challenges. Training mode lets you practice combos and techniques. You can customize rules like time limits, items, and victory conditions. The roster includes everyone from previous Smash games, plus new additions like Inkling from Splatoon and characters from Fire Emblem. It's the ultimate celebration of video game history. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is a side-scrolling platformer where Donkey Kong and friends must save their island from Viking penguins who froze everything with magical ice. The story is simple, but the platforming is absolutely perfect. You run, jump, swing on vines, and ride minecarts through incredibly detailed levels. Each world has a different theme, like a jungle, underwater sections, or African savanna with unique gameplay mechanics and visual style. You can play as DK, Diddy Kong, Dixie Kong, or Cranky Kong, each with special abilities like Diddy's jetpack hover or Dixie's helicopter hair spin. The level design is genius with multiple paths, secret areas, and collectible Kong letters and puzzle pieces hidden everywhere. Boss battles are creative and challenging, requiring you to learn patterns and use the environment to win. The soundtrack by David Wise is incredible, with music that perfectly matches the action on screen. Swimming levels control smoothly, and rocket barrel sections test your reflexes. You can play solo or with a friend in co-op mode. The game looks absolutely beautiful, with amazing animations and backgrounds that feel alive with detail and movement. Pokemon Legends Arceus takes place in ancient Hisui, which later becomes the Sinnoh region you might know from other games. You play as a researcher who gets sent back in time to help create the very first Pokédex when humans and Pokemon barely got along. The big change here is you can catch Pokemon directly in the wild without battling them first. Just sneak up and throw a Pokeball. You can also battle wild Pokemon using a new turn system based on speed and agility stats. The world is split into large open areas where Pokemon roam freely and react to weather changes. You craft your own Pokeballs and items using materials you find while exploring. Alpha Pokemon are bigger, stronger versions that are really challenging to catch or fight. The story focuses on calming down angry noble Pokemon by throwing special bombs while dodging their attacks. Research tasks like catching multiple Pokemon or seeing them use specific moves help you learn about their behavior and fill out your Pokédex entry. Fire Emblem Three Houses puts you in the role of a teacher at a military academy where you choose to lead one of 3 student houses: Black Eagles, Blue Lions, or Golden Deer. Each house has different students with their own personalities, backstories, and reasons for fighting in an upcoming war. The first half focuses on teaching and building relationships with your students through lessons, meals, and battle training. Combat happens on grid-based battlefields where you move units around like chess pieces and attack enemies within range. Each character has different weapon types and classes like Archer, Mage, or Knight that you can change as they level up. The relationship system lets you pair up characters who fight better together and might even get married later. After a time skip, the story gets much darker as your former students become key players in a continent-wide war. Your choice of house completely changes the story and who you fight against. The monastery between battles lets you explore, fish, garden, and talk to characters to learn more about the world and its history. Kirby in the Forgotten Land is the pink puffball's first full 3D adventure, taking place in a post-apocalyptic world where nature has reclaimed abandoned cities and theme parks. Kirby gets sucked through a portal and must rescue captured Waddle Dees from a group called the Beast Pack. The core gameplay stays true to Kirby. You inhale enemies to copy their abilities like fire, sword, or ice powers. The new Mouthful mode lets Kirby stretch his mouth around large objects like cars, vending machines, or traffic cones to solve puzzles and reach new areas. Each level has hidden Waddle Dees to rescue by completing objectives like finding secret areas or beating levels without taking damage. Copy abilities can be upgraded at weapon shops using blueprints and materials you collect. The 3D movement feels natural and lets you explore levels from different angles to find secrets. Boss battles are creative and use environmental elements along with Kirby's abilities. Waddle Dee Town grows as you rescue more characters, unlocking minigames and shops. Co-op mode lets a second player join as Bandana Waddle Dee with his own spear attacks. Metroid Prime Remastered brings the classic GameCube game to Switch with updated graphics and improved controls that work perfectly in both docked and handheld modes. You play as bounty hunter Samus Aran, exploring the planet Talon 4 to stop her nemesis Dark Samus and eliminate dangerous Phazon corruption. The game combines first-person shooting with platforming and puzzle solving as you scan objects to learn about the world's history and alien creatures. Your power suit starts basic but gains abilities like the Morph Ball form, different weapon beams, and movement upgrades that open up new areas to explore. The interconnected world design means you'll revisit previous areas with new abilities to access block paths and hidden items. Combat requires you to lock onto enemies and strafe around them while jumping and shooting. Environmental puzzles often require specific weapons or visors like the thermal visor to see heat signatures or X-ray visor to see through walls. Scanning lore entries tells the tragic story of what happened to the Chozo civilization and space pirates. The map system helps track your progress and shows where you need certain abilities to continue. Super Mario Bros. Wonder brings fresh ideas to 2D Mario platforming with the Wonder Flower mechanic that completely transforms levels in unexpected ways. The story takes Mario and friends to the Flower Kingdom where they must stop Bowser from merging with Prince Florian's castle using a Wonder Flower. When you touch Wonder Flowers during levels, crazy things happen. Mario might turn into a Goomba, pipes could start moving like snakes, or the entire level might flip upside down. You can play as Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, or different colored Yoshis and Nabbit, each with slightly different abilities. The badge system lets you equip special powers before starting levels like wall jumping or starting with a power-up. Elephant Mario is the new main power-up that lets you break blocks with your trunk, spray water to grow plants, and knock down enemies. Online features let you see ghost players and leave helpful hints for other people playing the same level. Each world has multiple paths and secret exits that lead to bonus levels. The art style is more expressive than previous games with detailed animations and backgrounds. Voice acting for characters adds personality during gameplay moments. Astral Chain is set in a futuristic city called the Ark, where humanity fights against interdimensional creatures using captured monsters called legions. You play as a rookie police officer who joins Neuron, a special task force that uses legions tethered to officers with psychic chains. The unique combat system lets you control both your character and your legion at the same time. You can attack enemies directly while your legion attacks from a different angle. 5 different legion types have unique abilities: sword for melee combat, arrow for ranged attacks, arm for heavy damage, beast for speed and tracking, and axe for defense. Outside of combat, you investigate crime scenes by examining evidence, questioning witnesses, and using legion abilities to access new areas or reveal hidden clues. The chain between you and your legion can be used creatively to trip enemies, wrap around objects, or solve environmental puzzles. Between missions, you explore the Ark and talk to citizens who give you side quests. The story deals with family relationships and questions about what makes someone human. Combat gets really deep as you learn to coordinate attacks and switch between different legion types mid-fight. Super Mario Odyssey sends Mario on a globe-trotting adventure to stop Bowser from marrying Princess Peach by traveling to different kingdoms in an airship called the Odyssey. Mario teams up with Cappy, a ghost hat whose sister was captured to be Peach's wedding tiara. The revolutionary capture mechanic lets Mario throw Cappy to possess enemies and objects, gaining their abilities. You can become a T-Rex, control a taxi, or even possess people to access restricted areas. Each kingdom has a completely different theme, like New Donk City with realistic humans, the Luncheon Kingdom with lava and food creatures, or the Moon Kingdom in space. Power Moons replace stars as the main collectible, with over 800 hidden throughout the kingdoms in creative ways that encourage exploration. Mario's movement is incredibly fluid, with new abilities like the cap throw, long jump combinations, and wall jumping that let skilled players move through levels in amazing ways. Photo mode lets you take pictures of Mario in different outfits with various filters and poses. After the main story, kingdoms get additional challenges and more Power Moons to find. The game works great in both handheld and docked modes with intuitive motion controls. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe includes the original Wii U game, plus all DLC, and new features like a proper battle mode with dedicated arenas and multiple game types. You race as characters from the Mario universe on creative tracks that use anti-gravity sections where you can drive on walls and ceilings. The item system gives you weapons and power-ups based on your position in the race. Players in last place get stronger items like the blue shell or lightning bolt. Smart steering and auto-accelerate options help new players stay on track and keep up with experienced racers without taking away the competitive depth. Battle mode includes Balloon Battle, the Bomb Blast, Coin Runners, Renegade Roundup, and Shine Thief across purpose-built arenas. The DLC adds 48 additional tracks from previous games and new locations, doubling the content. Online multiplayer supports up to 12 players worldwide with tournaments and friend lobbies. Local multiplayer works with up to 4 players on one Switch using split screen. Vehicle customization lets you choose different kart bodies, wheels, and gliders that actually change your stats like speed, acceleration, and handling. The game runs at 60 frames per second in both TV and handheld modes with beautiful graphics and smooth gameplay. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 concludes the story trilogy connecting the first 2 games in an emotional tale about soldiers from 2 warring nations who discover the truth about their endless conflict. You control 6 party members, 3 from each nation, who can combine into powerful Ouroboros forms during battles. The real-time combat system lets you auto-attack while manually activating arts abilities and building up to chain attacks that can deal massive damage. Each character has multiple classes they can learn from other party members, letting you customize their roles as attackers, healers, or tanks. The massive world is filled with unique creatures, landmarks, and side quests that flesh out the lore and character relationships. Colonies scattered across the world house people trying to live normal lives despite the constant war, and helping them provides valuable rewards and story moments. The cooking system lets you prepare meals that give temporary stat bonuses during exploration and combat. Heart-to-hearts are optional scenes where party members have deep conversations that develop their relationships. The story tackles heavy themes about the meaning of life, death, and fighting for a better future. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild revolutionized open-world games by letting you climb almost any surface and approach objectives from countless different angles. Link wakes up after 100 years to find Hyrule in ruins and must regain his strength to defeat Calamity Ganon. The physics system lets you experiment with fire, ice, electricity, and magnetism to solve puzzles creatively. You might start a grass fire to create updrafts for gliding, or use metal objects during thunderstorms to conduct lightning. Tears of the Kingdom expands this foundation with new abilities like Ultra Ultra Hand for building vehicles and contraptions, Fuse for combining weapons with objects, and Ascend for traveling through ceilings. The sequel adds sky islands above Hyrule and underground depths below, tripling the exploration area. Weapon durability forces you to constantly try new equipment and adapt your fighting style. Cooking lets you create meals that restore health or provide temporary bonuses like cold resistance or extra speed. Both games encourage experimentation and reward creative problem solving over following set paths. The minimal story structure lets you tackle main objectives in any order while discovering the world's history through environmental storytelling and optional memory. That's our top 20 best Nintendo Switch games of all time. These games show why the Switch has become such an amazing console with something for everyone. Let me know in the comments which games are your favorites and what you think should have made the list. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Nintendo Switch content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.